Hi, this is Marvin Nichols, host of the Hue Dat Podcast on MTMV Sports Podcast Network, and I have Grambling State University football special teams coach, Coach Chris Scott, and QB coach G-Man, Devante Kincade in our virtual studio, and we will be right back.
That was fun.
Hey, this is Marvin Nichols, Miss GSU 1991-92. I am the queen on the scene, usually with Coach Hue Jackson, but he has given his minutes tonight to Coach Devante Kincade and Coach Chris Scott, and we are ready to chop it up about Grambling State University football. Coach Scott and Coach Kincade, welcome to the Hue Dat Podcast. Please say hello to our audience. First you, Coach Scott, and then you, Coach Kincade.
All right. Once again, I'm honored to be here tonight. This is an awesome opportunity for us as a staff to get to share our thoughts about the program and the future of the program. So I'm excited to be a part of your show and excited to get this interview going.
Coach Kincade.
It's a blessing to be here. It's always a good opportunity to represent GSU. Former quarterback here. I love the G, so I appreciate you having me here as well.
Awesome. Well, again, welcome to the Hue Dat Podcast. And I'm going to start out with Coach Chris Scott, who is our special teams coach. And I'm going to just get right to it. So, Coach Scott, what do you look for in special teams players?
I mean, when you talk about special teams, it's about having that one play mentality, that one play mindset. You look at guys that gives that extra effort that can give offense or defense momentum for the games. And you can see in the past few games that we played in, guys were making plays, which it energized the offense. You make a big offensive return, punt return, kickoff return. It gets the fans involved. It gets the energy flowing, and then your offense, they come onto the field and make a big play, or vice versa. You're looking at punting from our punter Jimmy Isles, who had a hell of a game this past week with his longest punt, 69 yards. You're able to pin the offense on the 1 yard line, give your defense great field position. So to have guys like that on the field that can flip the field and make plays, it gives our team momentum. So special teams have that one set mentality and also gives your offense and defense opportunity to give them momentum. So it's very, very important to me, and as a team, it's a third of the team. So to have guys buy in from freshmen to walk-ons to scholarship players, everybody's involved in special teams.
Yeah, that momentum means everything because it actually starts the game usually, or if we're trying to get the momentum back, if the other team scores, it's always great to get great field position during the punt return. So yes. Also, how do you work with special teams to make sure they know how important they are to the game plan?
Well, every Sunday and Tuesdays we have meetings post game. We look at the past and try to get the guys to understand how important it is that one block that we probably had missed that we would have made could have changed the game, or a punt block that we could have made and we didn't execute that punt block. So just showing those guys those things and getting them to buy in, to want to go out there and get an extra effort and to make those plays. Those guys are working real hard. They want to make those kind of plays, and I want to encourage them and put them in the best position to do so. So for me to show them the opportunities that they have and to get them to believe it every day at practice is the biggest thing for me. So that's how I kind of go about getting those guys to understand and showing them the game plan, showing them that it is guys that, from my previous schools that I've been, that they have saw the success of these teams and their returns, and they believe that they can do it. And the thing is just getting everybody on the same page to buy in and want to do it and to get that drive to do it. And the guys, they're excited. They get excited for special teams. That's the one thing I can say about these guys. They get real excited to play special teams.
Wow. It's exciting to watch. I've seen, just watching the game though, like we've had some missed opportunities. How do you come back, or how do you coach them beyond those mistakes with the punt return?
Yeah, so with punt return, that we had one mistake in that, the ball kind of hit us in the back of the head one play and it went into the end zone. Some things you can't really predict that could happen, right? Like that's just something that the ball came down, right? But the guys in the right position. So you want to tell the guys, like, we got to be alert for all plays in the game, being alert, knowing what a ball is, where it's punted and things like that, and try to get guys to feel the ball and to make plays to go execute, and showing them those mistakes and showing them the next day, and correcting those things. It's the biggest thing for us. We got support from all the staff, the coaches, everybody's involved in trying to get these guys on the right page. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be some successful days coming soon. And the guys, they're all about getting things fixed and getting it corrected. They understand it. They see the plays that they could have made, and they play it back in their head, and we do them at practice and they execute. So it's about having that one day mentality, continuing to chop wood and carry water every day, and trust the process.
Yeah, that chopping wood and carrying the water is very important, especially collectively. Now, we've brought in some new players on special teams, so talk about some of their contributions.
Yeah, we have a lot of guys that came in and impacted us, with special teams. You have some guys that are walk-ons that came in and did a really great job. You have Ken Pierre Charles. He's been a guy that's always around the ball, making good plays. You have guys, Trent Henry, your freshman. He just came in. He's coming in, making plays, gunner, and doing good things, and so forth with Jimmy Isles. He's another newcomer that's coming in as the punter, Australian punter. And he's getting used to how to play football in America. And once he gets comfortable, he's going to do even a better job. Looking at the return game, you have the freshman Antonio Jones, number 19. He came in and he's doing some great things. He's one of the top leaders in the SWAC when it comes to kickoff returns. So just continuing to give these guys the confidence and the belief that they can go out and do it. It doesn't matter if you're a freshman, senior, or whoever. It's just about when you have that opportunity, it's only one play. You can't go back and say, dang, I'm going to do it again this next play. No, you have one play to make it right. And that's how we break down. That's how we do everything. It's one play on the ready. And these guys understand once we say that, they're all locked in and focused.
Wow, yeah, and that's important, the focus, and like you said, it's one play, and we have to take advantage of that moment, and to keep the momentum and get the crowd involved, and also get good field position. Now, tell me this, or tell us this: will we see Pippins again, or will we see him with the special teams on the punt return?
Yes, Pepins, whenever the opportunity comes, he will be there to participate and do things now. He is one of the guys that we brought in. Right now, he's facing some injuries right now, so he's not with the team at the moment due to injuries. But he is a guy that can be special on special teams. Another guy is Maurice Washington. You know, when Maurice is healthy and he's rolling, man, is he's one of those guys who can make a difference in the game. You know, and getting him back at kick return and punt return, that's something that we want to see. We know what he can do with the ball in his hands. You know, so Maurice is one of those guys that's high on our return game. And we know once he's healthy, what he could do.
Yeah, Maurice Washington is impressive, and we have been craving to see him on the field and do more and make it happen for Grambling State University football. Now, before we go into recruiting questions, I want to ask you, how would you rate our performance through our first 6 games?
Uh, I have seen improvement. You know, that's the biggest thing. I have seen progress. You know, I've seen from game one to us having some mistakes with field goals to them getting it fixed. The guys wanting to getting it fixed. You know, from our kickoff team, you know, to improving on that. From our punt, you know, and our return game. So the guys are improving day by day, and every week I've seen progress. So that's the biggest thing is that I look forward to is progression, making sure we get things corrected and get it fixed, and continue to build confidence in them. Like I said before, I'm a firm believer in that chop wood, carry water process, and every day, you know, we have to do it as it's a new day. You know, we have to look at the mistakes we did and get 1% better every day. So it's been a lot of progression, finding out who can do what at what position, moving guys around, and finding guys who want to give that 110% effort every play.
Yes, we do. We need everybody at 100%. We need everybody executing at a high level. And like Coach and I, we always talk about being transparent and, just being honest. And we know Graham fans we're used to winning. It's a winning tradition. I think some of us are just kind of, you know, antsy about the rebuild. What do you want to say to the audience about our kids and their progression every week, their progress every week, and how do we, prepare for these future games that are to come, especially home games, and what to expect when we get there?
Uh, First thing is that we all used to winning here. You know, I go back to 2000 when my dad was here. He was coaching defensive line, and with Coach Doug Williams, the first stint that he was here, and I can recall these guys having a crazy passion about that G, and when the facility was brand new, and things were just so much different, right? The tradition, the culture, and seeing that and coming back here now, it is a lot of work that we would have to do to get the culture right. And Coach Jackson has the right vision and the plan to do so. The biggest thing I would say for us is to get the alumni back. You know, I remember the Calvin Spears, the Robert Taylors, the Randy Hines, the Scotty Andersons, you know, the Larry Mativiers, all those guys that were here, the Willie Grays of the world, Mark Halls, you know, all these guys that impacted and had a big role in that national championship team when they were here, you know, to get those guys back, to get them in the locker room around those guys, you know. I remember hymns that they used to sing coming out of the locker room, you know, and I was only 10 years old, and I remember getting cheers back then. So to be here now, they need to see the tradition. They need to go back to it, and it'll make them have more pride into that G, into what it means to be here on hollow ground. And the biggest thing is to keep the kids motivated. You know, once they see the tradition and how things are and how things used to be, you know, they'll take more pride into having it day by day. And with Coach Jackson's leadership, I believe everything is going to be on the right track in the near future. We have profiles together when it comes to recruiting of how we want to rebuild a team, and with personnel and getting the right players in that love and have a passion for football. You know, that's the biggest thing, is having a passion for football, you know, and you have guys that have passion, and you have guys that just probably here to be here, right? And the whole part of this is building a culture to get the guys that want to be here and have that passion. So getting the team together and getting the culture the way it's supposed to be, not only on the football field, it's also on the campus. Having these guys understand that they are a big impact to this university. When you go to the cafeteria, when you go to class and people see you, they're going to know you're a football player. So to know how to carry yourself, to open doors for women when they come through and things like that, just the small things, just to teach them how to become young men, and that's what I believe the G is for. I remember the G was considered the Black Notre Dame, so to get that back to the Black Notre Dame, that's our goal. I had the opportunity to meet Coach Eddie Robinson, before he passed away when my dad was here. So to sit back and listen to the conversation that him and my dad had about Grambling and about what they went through to get it to where it is now, I still remember those conversations to the day. So the Grambling is really important to me. I have history here. And I remember winning those Bayou Classics. I remember them days and national championships. So I want to do my best to get it back to that point.
Well, let me say that your commentary was very powerful about, your experience, your connection with Coach Eddie Robinson in the previous program during the early 2000s, which was, like you mentioned, Randy. He's an awesome young man. I've met him. I was way gone when he got to Grambling, but I have met him. Awesome young man. And he also played professional ball. And so I do understand what you're saying. I believe I've heard we have 40 true freshmen. So they may not know what it really means in a real and meaningful sense. So I'm so glad that we're playing at home the next three games. I believe there will be a lot of G-men circling around, embracing them, and even the alums. I spoke with someone that said they wrote notes to all football players and put them in the mail, and so that means a lot. And I want to thank. I'm going to say Dr. Smiley. She inboxed me tonight and said, "Look, I wrote every football player a note, and that means a lot to those young men. And I've been inboxing with some of them and just encouraging them almost every day. And so, thank you for saying that. And that we're talking about recruiting. I want to talk about, the great recruiting class we had, and I know we are looking at recruiting classes now. So, what are our current needs going into next year?"
Just we want to continue to add to the roster, continue to build on what we left off. Uh, I believe we all came together. We had a staff meeting a couple of days ago, and we all came together about the profiles of the recruiting the guys we're going to be recruiting. So we have this profile of every position on the field, and we're going to go out and try to execute at those positions. We're looking for more guys on the offensive line. We have some seniors in the secondary. You got some seniors leaving in the linebacker core. So, trying to replace those guys and get better guys in. We always look for the next best guy. And we always want to recruit better than what we have recruited in the past. So for us, our recruiting is going to go up even to a higher standard of the guys we want to bring in. We want to make sure guys have a passion for football. They handle what they have to do in the classroom, off the field, making sure they're good. They have good characters. They're good characters, and so forth. But the biggest thing is we want to build a profile and have a bigger football team, and that's our goal, is to get bigger and get faster.
Well, you all heard it. If there are any high school football players, and you're top tier, and you want to play for Grambling State University, Coach Scott is also head of recruiting, in addition to his special teams um, job. and you can find him on Twitter. I'm not sure what's your handle on Twitter,
Yes,
so that some of our players will know. So what some of the potential future players can know how to contact you.
it's Coach underscore Scott JR 31.
All right, y'all heard it. So he's looking for linemen,
Let me correct that. Coach.
linebackers.
Let me
Say that
correct.
again.
It's Coach underscore Scott 31. Sorry about that.
Coach underscore Scott 31. You got that? All right. So make sure. Oh, there it is at the bottom of the screen. So we're looking for linemen on both sides of the line of scrimmage, linebackers, secondary. We want you, and Grambling is a great place to pursue your education, play awesome football under Coach Hue Jackson and these phenomenal coaches that he has selected. And so, thank you so much. Coach Scott, I'm going to switch over. Stand by now because I got to close you out. We have to close out together with my special question I have at every during every show. But I'm going to bring Coach Kincade on because Coach Kincade is one of our most special G men in recent past. If you don't know, he is the only SWAC quarterback to win a Celebration Bowl under Coach Broderick Fobbs. That was an amazing era of Grambling football. He was a transfer, I think, from Ole Miss. Is that right?
It's kind of breaking up a little bit at the end. I couldn't hear you. Say it one more time.
I say you were a transfer from Ole Miss. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. You're correct. Correct. In
Yeah, I think I
2015.
remember. Yeah, yeah. So I was saying you are the only SWAC quarterback to win a Celebration Bowl. You were a transfer, and you and your running back Martez Carter, Chad Williams, Vernon Hunter, and a few others were just phenomenal. And we had some glory days. I traveled more for Grambling football during that era than I ever had. And first of all, let me thank you on behalf of Gram Fam for what you did during that season
Yes, ma'am.
of Grambling football. It was just phenomenal. And I just want to say I'm so glad to see you on the staff. I think that it was a great choice, and I think it was an awesome opportunity for you as well. So, welcome to the show again, Coach Kincade. And I just want to ask you because you were a transfer, what was it about Grambling that made you want to come to Grambling?
It was one day that I talked to Coach Fobbs, I talked to Coach Dooley, I talked to Coach Nord, and man, the message they gave me about Grambling, like I grew up, I never knew about HBCU football, so the message they gave me, like with all the quarterbacks that ever came through there, Shaq Harris, Doug Williams, all those greats, Randy Hines, it was a lot of guys. Kendrick Noah, my quarterback coach. The message they gave me was they was telling me we have a senior quarterback, and this opportunity is really like it's gold because I was leaving and I was looking for a place to go because my mom got sick. And when my mom got sick, when they was talking to me, they was telling me they had an opportunity for me, like for as a full scholarship. So I felt like that was a blessing, like because I really didn't know where I was gonna go because I was hurt. So when I got healthy, the one thing I wanted to do for Gremlin was, give it my all because they the only one really believed in me in that moment when I was transferring, when there was really a lot of people looking over me. So it's just a lot of history, and I wanted to become one of those great quarterbacks to come out of Gremlin, to play in the NFL. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. I got blessed to be coaching at one of the best HBCUs, if not the best in the world. Like it's overwhelming, and I love it. I love the challenge. I love the experience I'm having. My first year coaching college football, I've been training quarterbacks for like 3 years, so I've really been prepping for this opportunity. So it was a blessing. I'm happy.
Wow. Well, we want to I think it's a great opportunity for you that, Coach Hue Jackson, believed in you and has entrusted you with uh, a key coaching position. So tell us, what have you learned from Coach Hue about developing quarterbacks?
Whoa, it's a lot. It'll like, it'll really have your head spinning. Like it's so much information every day. Like I love it because it's so challenging and it feel like I'm still playing. Like it really feel like I'm still playing because every day is something new. I'm learning something every day. It's like a movie you rewatch or a book that you keep reading. You find something new every day. Um, for as coverages, terminology, how to talk, the way you're supposed to lead, um, how to be methodical on the field, just being basically very technique sound and it's so just knowledge behind the position that I really never knew that it was possible. Like if I would have had some type of knowledge of this manner that he's teaching me as a coach, like it was already bad. It would have been way worse. Like it wouldn't have been fair. I feel like it's a cheat code, but it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of studying to being able to have that same type of mind frame as him. If I could say, it's so much of a high level thinking in a very fast, short time, and being able to coach it, it's a blessing to being able to get them that knowledge from him, and that's what I felt like I was missing. That's what I wanted. That's what I was really trying to get to in the NFL to get that next level. Everybody wants to get to the highest level in play. They want to, because I'm a competitor. Anybody that's a competitor want to get to the highest level. So I feel like with being with him, in his hip every day, learning from him, I feel like I'm still, playing in the NFL. That's just how I look at it.
Wow. So although you didn't get the opportunity to play on the next level, you feel being under his tutelage that it's a form of being in the NFL because he is
Absolutely.
actually coaching you. You're still being coached, basically, is what you're saying, and that's
Yes, ma'am.
awesome. So that you're being coached and you are coaching young men. You have to lead young men. So take us inside some of the conversations that have happened inside your QB room or during your meetings.
Just basically, like I told them, we like, I'm his Robin, basically. So whatever he teaches, I kind of enhance it for as the playway. So when he teach basically how to read certain coverages on certain plays, right? When we go to the field, like I wear my cleats every day, so I make sure I can show him on a board, talk him through it, and show him visually. I want them to get the three ways. And each week we've been getting better. Each day we've been getting better, and just I've been challenging them every day, like. I be telling them like I'm too old. I shouldn't be able to beat y'all. I shouldn't be able to throw that in you right now. You active every day. This is what you trying to be. Like you trying to be something elite. So every day you chasing one thing, right? So basically, like if we watching film, there's certain questions that he asks, and you got to answer in a shorter period of time, like if he was on the field. Like that's one thing that I take from him, and I love the way how he put it because it's just like on the field, right? If you can think the game, when you get to the game, it'll be a little bit easier. And like I said, it take a lot. It take a lot for you to really learn it at a high level, and to have it as muscle memory. You have to get a lot of reps at it.
Gotcha. Yeah, we that is so true. The football IQ is very important, or the QB IQ, being able to read defenses and being able to think very quickly on your feet. How do you prepare your quarterbacks mentally? Because Coach Simon talked about, the QB position as the offensive coordinator, and he talked about, just that we have a QB committee, that we don't have a QB1 at this time. And so it's going to be a QB committee and a joint effort. So, how do you prepare our quarterbacks for the game, and how to be productive in the heat of the moment or when that pressure is on them?
Well, it's two ways, that I do it. I do a lot of film. Like when we break down film during the week, I make like mixtapes for them, basically, like a lot of tapes, like scout tapes, basically. And they can access it through their phone, laptops, they surfaces that they have, and once I get them the visual for the tape, we go through it on the board as well when they come in. Some of them come in like a little bit earlier, like than practice. They'll come in like an hour earlier. We'll be with Coach Jackson. We'll be on the board going over plays and going over the game plan like what we're going to do for practice. So that's the school part of it, right? Then once we go to the field, I put them through hectic situations, Coach Jackson, put them through hectic situations to make sure that they are better respond like in a very fast pace, basically, so we can better operate.
That's important. I've seen, our QBs, make some mistakes, and we have some interceptions and turnovers. And so we're glad to hear that you all are consistently working on that skill, on those skills rather, and we pray that we see your teachings implemented on the field this weekend. Now, listen, I want to ask both of you all as we start wrapping up a little bit. What excites you, Coach Kincade, about the first game at Grambling this weekend? You all been on the road a long time. You finally home.
Oh yeah.
What excites you about that?
It's different in that hole. Like I tell everybody, man, in the hole it's just different. Once you come down that hill and you see them fans in that crowd, that's one of the best experience I ever had. Coming and nobody really knew, what I was built like, and I just embraced it. And seeing people sitting on the hill, smelling that barbecue pit when you come out that locker room, it make you hungry. Like it's just a crazy environment. Like I never knew college football would be that way, and especially at the HBCU. That a lot of people, frown upon. Like I really didn't understand that. So it's gonna be amazing for a lot of the kids, the freshmen that haven't really played a home game here. They're gonna see like it's electric. The crowd is always into it. Absolutely.
Grambling, Eddie G. Robinson Memorial Stadium, the whole I work here at a high school in Chicago, and my PE teacher is from Alabama State, and he played lineman. He said, "Man, I hated playing in the hole." And he said, "Man, they would have those ROTC guys hitting that cannon," and he said, "Man, it was just horrible."
Oh yeah.
So the hole is a special place. The barbecue, Graham fam, the tailgating, it's just one of the most exciting and just welcoming feelings ever. And I'm so excited for those young men who never felt that or experienced that to experience it. Um, Coach Scott, tell me what excites you about that first kickoff at Grambling this weekend for special teams.
That first kickoff, I want the neck. I want the neck plan. I want the crowd to be up. I want to hear the GS. It's something about it. It gives me chills every time I hear it. So I'm ready to have the fans. I want to hear everybody alum, everybody on their feet. That first kickoff, I want the guys to be energized. I'm ready to see them excited to be home. I want to see them jumping around, flying to the ball. So I'm more excited. I want to see that first play on kickoff return. I need the neck playing loud. I need all the neighbors in Ruston to hear. I need them to complain about the noise. I want to hear everybody screaming GS, GSU. I thought you knew.
Man,
I
man, let me tell you something.
feel the energy.
We got the best chant in the SWAC, man. They talk about I'm SWAC, they debating. I don't care nothing about that, baby. I am Grambling, okay? The best chant. We are the best fans. It's nothing like, that fight song playing, fight for deal, Grambling, do fight. That's the first song, and then it goes to the neck, and then our tubas just hit that GSU song that I thought you knew. Man, it's something about it. And let me tell you, hey, fans, Grambling fans and alumni who are wanting to go to the game, but you haven't got your tickets yet, please go to gsutigers.com. We're asking that everyone purchase three tickets, the three home tickets for, I believe, $76. I'm in Chicago. I'm going to purchase my three tickets on tomorrow. I'm going to try to give them to someone. I won't be making it, but let me tell you, all roads lead to Grambling, exit 81 off of I-20 on Saturday, and even on the next Saturday, and even the next Saturday. And I'm coming home on November the 5th, the weekend. I'm
Lit.
home. Is no place like home. Is no place like Grambling State University. I love GSU. And so everybody, if you live in the surrounding areas, you got to be there. You got to be there for the G-Men. Did you hear Coach Scott talk about what he envisions for the fans, for his special teams? And Coach Kincade is going to have our quarterbacks ready to beat FAMU. I believe we're going to do it, and never say die. And we just believe God, and I've been praying so hard for you guys every week, every day. You're in my prayers, and those young men as well. Now, okay, we're going to go first. I got to ask you, Coach Chris, now, do you eat sugar or salt and pepper on your grits?
I don't know
Tell
where
us,
you get
tell
sugar
us what
from.
you do.
If you're getting sugar on your grits, just eat oatmeal. Just get you some oatmeal, man. I'm a salt and pepper guy.
What's up with that?
I don't know. No sugar on the grits.
You
Gotta
got
have
porridge or something?
oatmeal. Yeah, no sugar on the grits. Salt and pepper
No
meat.
sugar. All right.
Salt
Okay,
and
so
pepper meat.
it's three of you all, no sugar. Okay, let's hear the young cat. What do you eat on your grits?
Salt and pepper. Salt and pepper it is. Salt and pepper it is. Done deal. Oh no. No sugar.
Oh man, that's good. Okay, we all in the family. We grand family. We agree on that grit piece, salt and pepper and butter, right? When I didn't eat grits before I got to Grambling, right? I'm a Chicago girl. Even though my parents from Mississippi, I didn't eat grits until I got hungry. And I started going to the calf, and that's all they had. A few strips of bacon. I started to like grits. Okay, now give me your pregame meal, Coach Scott. What is it this week? What are you eating before the game?
I'm gonna go with some spaghetti and a light salad. Give me some baked chicken. That's what I'm gonna roll with. That's what I like.
Man, that sounds like a church dinner right there.
Yeah. That's what I like.
You're a
That's my
church boy.
man, salad.
Okay. You ready? All right, Coach Kincade, what you eating before the game?
2 baked chickens. That's all I need. Two
little
big
bit.
thighs. 2 big thighs.
Okay.
And
Are you
some
gonna stop by
Gatorade.
on the tailgating? You famous
I'm gonna try to
amongst
stop
Grand
by.
Town.
I'm gonna
Say
try
that
to stop
again.
by and get a little something. I'm gonna try to stop and get a little something real fast.
Well, G-Men Nation is going to be out there. They're having a rib contest. Stop by your
Ooh.
brethren. Oh, yeah. And they have a huge throwdown wherever they are
Okay.
tailgating. So make sure you stop by there.
For sure.
But I just want to before we wrap up, thank you guys for coming on. I know our fans appreciate you coming on and talking about Grambling State University football. And I want to say something to my G-Men, my favorite team in the whole world. I'm from Chicago. I love the Bears, but the G-Men are my favorite team. I want to give you a passage in the Bible that says that we are pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair. You are G-Men. Keep fighting and fight to win. We are playing in the hole again on Saturday, and we are rooting for you against FAMU. And with that being said, thank you for tuning in to the Hue Dat Podcast on MTMV Sports Podcast Network. And as I always say, it's all good, it's all God, and it's all Grambling.